I think everyone that clicked on this video doesn't really care about what wins Game of the Year. Whether you think it's because the judges aren't gamers, they have bad takes, or because your individual power of deciding Game of the Year is so low that you kind of just disregard it. Most people who do watch the Game Awards like myself have their own Game of the Year, mine being Lies of P, but mainly want to see what new games get announced, because each year there's always a good surprise or two. So with everything that we're going to discuss today, I just want to make clear that nothing is confirmed to be here. This is all what I hope to see and what I have my eye out for. But even if they aren't shown, most of these should come out next year unless there are some development hell shenanigans going on behind the scenes. But if you did click on this video, then some of these games are on your radar too. Timestamps are in the description. I know that pretty much everyone watching this video is a fan of Souls, or at the bare minimum is a fan of Elden Ring. So I think it's safe to assume that we all want to see this expansion at the Game Awards. On the 25th of November, the official Game Awards Twitter put out this tweet here. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but it is alluding to a reminder of From Software's presence, and it's not unusual for From Software to show upcoming projects at the Game Awards. Last year we got Armored Core 6, and with Elden Ring winning Game of the Year, it would be a nice way to wrap things up and tie everything together with a revival of Elden Ring's DLC. Honestly, I don't think it's a stretch to expect Shadow of the Erdtree to be there. If Shadow of the Erdtree isn't at the Game Awards, then we may have to wait all the way until summer of next year, and I don't know if my heart can handle that. Hades 2 will be Supergiant's first sequel this team has made. All of their other games were one and done. Hades was one of, if not the best roguelike to ever exist. It even made non-roguelike enjoyers like myself join in on the fun. Zagreus was an amazing protagonist, and I can only hope Melanoy will be as quirky and fun. Plus, the whole concept of going after Kronos is very, very interesting. We saw Hades 2 get officially revealed last year at the Game Awards, and we do know that next year it should be put in early access. I think the best we can expect from Hades 2 would be a release date for the early access, which really isn't my style. I think I'm going to wait for the full game release to get the best experience possible. I don't even know where to start with Silksong. In case you were unaware, Silksong's first trailer was shown in 2019, and at first it was planned to be a DLC for Hollow Knight, but Team Cherry decided to give Hornet her own game. Team Cherry is an extremely small dev team with just 3 people, so it's understandable that it's taken some time. The thing is, fans of this game have been befuddled for a while now. A while back, the Xbox Twitter account told us that Silksong would be released within 12 months last June. Obviously that time has passed, and no one really knows what to expect. I would most definitely imagine that a thing or two has put this game on ice a few times behind the scenes. The only thing we really have to go on is Matthew Griffin said that the development is still continuing. I really think that Hollow Knight fans like myself will grasp for anything at this point. Daily Silksong updates has been a real trooper making sure we're all being updated, and I'm just desperate for anything at this point. Desperate enough to put it on this list in faith that it will be shown at the Game Awards this year. The longer Sony's first-party games exist, the more backlash I hear from them in general. Things like all Sony first-party games are the same, there's not enough gameplay, the stories suck, etc, etc. But I like Sony's first-party games, and I like God of War. There have been rumblings of a Ragnarok standalone game with Atreus as the main character. I really don't like Atreus all that much, and I don't think anyone wants to replay his section of walking for an hour that you did in Ragnarok, but I do want to see what this will do. Unless Santa Monica changes their mind, we won't be getting another God of War game in the Norse era. So if they can give us a more proper send-off to Norse mythology, I think that would be more of a proper closure than what we got with Ragnarok. I did a video recently talking about the future of Souls games, and in that video I talked about Black Myth Wukong. I went back and watched that section of the video, and if I trust myself, we're very much so in the dark with this game. We did get some new gameplay this year, but rather than that, we still don't know much about it. This one has been on my eye for a while, mainly because everything I've seen just looks so goddamn gripping and intriguing. I do think that if we don't get anything for this game at the Game Awards, a re-reveal with a release date will be imminent. And this marks the most exciting part of the Game Awards, because we know about everything that I just mentioned. We know about Silksong, we know about Shadow of the Erdtree. What we don't know about is the unknown. What cool things have yet to be shown? There's always a cool announcement that catches us off guard. Last year we had the Cyberpunk DLC and this game called Judas, which looks really, really interesting. Besides the possibility of Silksong, this is what I'm looking forward to most. I just hope that they aren't revealed too early like how most games are. So, after saying that, yeah, it's just going to be revealed too early. I know that there are a lot of things on here I did not cover. Sorry if I didn't get around to covering your personal favorite. But let me just address a few that I didn't get around to really quick. I don't think Lies of P will be getting any announcements. It did get nominated for a few Game of the Year awards, and this is my personal Game of the Year. Round 8 talking more about the DLC seems early, and I don't imagine that coming out for a while. I know everyone wants GTA 6 and everyone wants to play GTA 6, and this may be at the Game Awards, I don't know, but I've never really fallen in love with a Rockstar game before. And that's really a shame because they make some excellent stuff. The Last of Us Factions is in a weird void right now, and lastly, more Souls-like games. I like Souls-like games. This channel is all about Souls games, and I do want to see more, so hopefully we see some there too. And I think that about covers it. I know that earlier I said that most of us don't care about what wins Game of the Year, and there is some truth to that. In the grand scheme of things, I really don't care, but I do care just a tiny little bit. Out of the 6 games that are nominated for Game of the Year, I didn't even beat one this year. The only one I played was Tears of the Kingdom, but didn't care enough to beat it. But if you sat down and forced me to choose, I would want Baldur's Gate 3 to win. I've never played Baldur's Gate, and I may not ever play it, but I don't care if Sony or Nintendo gets that boost for winning Game of the Year. To inform you, after doing some Google searches, it seems that Elden Ring got another sales boost after winning their Game of the Year award. And with the Baldur's Gate team being a solo-published studio, I want them to get that boost. I have only heard great things from Baldur's Gate, and I have also heard the game has 0 egregious microtransactions and launched in a finished state, which is kind of a rarity nowadays. It's kind of sad. Regardless, this has been a great year, and I hope you enjoyed the video.